Is there anything that gets the juices flowing like a rivalry game? And our matchup is bitter. It has barbs and shots thrown on and off the field over the years. Welcome to Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham, North Carolina, home to the Duke Blue Devils. As we'll see, the winners of 3 straight, the NC State Wolfpack, taking on a team looking to get into the win column, the Duke Blue Devils. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. NC State with the kickoff team on the field and just about ready to start. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Crank up this drive with the pass. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. Guys, this is a team that struggled mightily last year, and the entire offseason was built around performing better in ACC play.
Well, they just didn't have the dudes to get it done last year. Didn't have enough talent. But they're a year older. They've gone to the transfer portal. They've done a good job recruiting from the high school ranks. And, David, they think this year
He's going to let one fly down the middle. He's got it on the outside. Flying down the left side. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Duke. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
He makes the fair catch deep in his own end, and I get the criticism, but man, he probably wanted to at least save a few yards of field position. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
You want to stop the run game? Get the big defensive tackles in the middle, getting penetration. Those big boys eating up blocks, taking away gaps and holes for those running backs to run through.
Using his power and his sweet feet to get into the backfield quickly.
And you know you're athletic when you describe with power and sweet feet. I mean, just put those two things together and you're just pretty amazing.
The Wolfpack lineup facing third and approximately half a mile. They'll send the tight end in motion. On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. Intercepted! Oh, what a play!
There were a lot of people really excited about what this guy could do. Some were saying he could be an All-American, and he's proving them right. That's already his second interception early in this college football season. Offenses are going to figure it out. They're going to stop throwing this guy's way. You just get in trouble when you try.
From the shotgun, they'll run it. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard games just because of the body blow effect.
The Blue Devils come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Quarterback making checks. Looking to throw for it. Quickly complete. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
This offense is so explosive, they can change the scoreboard in a flash. You just saw that on that drive.
pushes the lead to 14. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And he makes the fair catch deep in his own territory, and he might have a question or two to answer about that decision. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up one.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Wide receiver going in motion. Looking to pass. It's Bailey. Under fire. Fires downfield. Just a hair too much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
NC State has work to do to convert this third down. They'll send the back in motion. On third and long, he has to throw for it. A strike downfield. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
Fires one high and deep. Hits him inside the 20, still going. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, NC State!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Takes the handoff. It's Moore. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Caught in the backfield, it's Anthony. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times they'll dance and make even bigger plays than they did here, but it was still a positive game.
And the Blue Devils come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. That's caught. It's Anthony. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
I mean, good news here, they get the completion. Bad news, though, not enough to pick up the first down. The target there, he's got to do a better job understanding where the first down marker is, make sure he gets the right depth on his route. Now, all of a sudden, head coach has a big decision to make.
They'll run the sneak for it. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
They'll run the screen.
I know, everyone's yelling, like, you didn't get the first down, we need more yards. But if you think about it, nice short completion, sets up a third down. And guess what? Nowadays, fourth down green light. We're going to go for it anyways.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Gonna run it. It's Moore. And the defense knew exactly where that first down line was, and they stopped him short.
Now, 4th down.
The Blue Devils will bring the punt team onto the field. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. Fields the punt. Wants to make a play. Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. They'll get this drive started from their own 26. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
To the air, it's Bailey. Snagged in the middle, it's Grimes. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You can tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on 3rd down. Wide receiver comes in motion. On 3rd down, going up top. Got his man. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
Let's see what he can do with it. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stopped. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. Making side adjustments here. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Looking left. Just a hair too much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback. This conference has a history of getting wacky, and the last thing you need to do is get off to a slow start in ACC play.
And what does everybody talk about every year, right? Like conference games, how much they matter, the familiarity with everybody around you. You can only start this one time, so let's bring that energy, bring that momentum. Who wants to start the season off with?
Well, the ACC is a conference that feels like oftentimes it just goes down to the wire. Those games late in the season are the ones that really determine what happens, but you've got to set yourself up for success, and it starts right here in the first conference game in the ACC for your team.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He wants to go deep. Makes the grab inside the 30. And they are finding some space in this defense. He's got it down to the 25.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. Looking for a crease. It's Moore. Lots of running room. Nice pick up on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks for the first down.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency in getting first downs and staying on the field. And you saw another great example right there running the football. Anything they want to do right now is working.
Well, they made the grab, but the doors closed quickly after that.
And I like this. I want to find my running back, but man, he's got to do a little more damage after the catch. I need a stiff arm. I need a spin move. I need something where he can make that guy miss and pick up a bunch of yards and maybe get a big play out of it.
He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today.
Throw to the end zone. It's picked off.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. To the air, it's Bailey. Grab near the marker, it's Grimes. They get it out to the 36 and on the move after a pickup of 15.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
NC State quick to the line.
Nice job by this defense creating that negative play. That's what all defenses want to do. But look at this. This offense, they ain't scared. Right back on the ball, ready to run another play, ready to make this defense work.
Man, the defense is making it tough on this quarterback early. They already have an interception. They almost came away with another one there. They're doing a great job reading his eyes and breaking on the ball.
Wolfpack with lots of ground to cover on third down. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Throws to the tight end. He made the catch, past the marker, also past the sideline. He's out of bounds. It'll be fourth down.
So after that incompletion, fourth down, you've got to hold serve if you're this offense, right? Both offenses up and down the field. The opponent scored twice. You scored a touchdown on your first drive. I think you got to go for it here because right now nobody's playing defense. And this game very easily could come down to which team has the ball last.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. They'll move the wide receiver. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9. Win with the running game on first down, now back at it. The offense changing the play. Gets the back moving. Back to pass. Bringing the heat. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Castle. Dragged down at the 43, but they've got it in enemy territory. They picked up 10 and given them a first down.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down. Gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this...
There he goes!
Offenses, when they run these RPOs, they just want to be comfortable. The quarterback wants to make the read very easy, very clean. It's your job as a defense to kind of create some confusion, speed up that process any way you can.
And the Blue Devils in a good spot here with 2nd and short. They'll switch it up here and look to throw. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Oh, the D has to be feeling it now. See if they can get another sack on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. The quick out. At the 20, he's got space. Touchdown, Duke. He got loose, and it was lights out after that.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, it's Bailey. Finds his target down the middle. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Wants to throw, he's working against the clock. Sets up the screen. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
He'll throw on third down. He lofted high and deep down the left side. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Looking for more room. And they capitalized not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
Well, that's a huge moment here in the game at the end of the first half because the offense is trying to march down the field. They're trying to cut into the opponent's lead. But with that interception and with that return, the defense now, they've put their team in an opportunity to pad their lead with more points here at the end of the first half.
Gets it down to the 33. They pick up the first down. Got to use their time wisely. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Out of the gun, the inside give. Got the first down and more. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
You know what? Everybody gets energized in the whole football team when you got running backs that fight for extra yards and breaks tackles. It's awesome to watch. Everybody literally gets a little jolt of energy because that guy continues to fight for everything he gets.
Snap's going to come from the 23 on 1st and 10. Wants to adjust the pattern. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. The offense couldn't get the snap off in time, and it'll cost them. They'll move it back, and it's 1st and 15 for this offense. Trying to get the corner. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Motion from the wide receiver. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Trying to get rid of it. He just throws it away, and I think the flag's going to be coming in. There it is. Offense breaks the huddle on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. Here's the pressure. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Got some room to run. Inside the 30. He's at the 10. Touchdown, North Carolina State. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. What about the speed from that defender on the return?
He's showing you, Reese, like, listen, it's not just wide receivers that can do that. I can take this thing to the house. I got some moves. Watch this. Unbelievable job flipping the field. Offense about to score. Defense makes the huge play and gets points out of it.
And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Starting this third quarter on the ground. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. The option look. The pitch. He stopped in the backfield again, and this just hasn't been his night. It's been more like a nightmare.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. We talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
That's caught. It's smothered. Out across the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A big pickup here as they try to put together a scoring drive. NC State with the 1st and 10 here. Power football with the run. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off. And
he throws another interception, his 3rd of the night. Not a lot on the return, but they can live with that as they've got it at the 49.
And this guy's showing off his hands again, understanding where the football's going. He breaks on the football so quick. And guess what? He makes plays when he breaks on it. That's 2 interceptions here through 3 quarters of a football game.
Under fire. With the catch, it's Brown. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. From the gun. Give on the inside. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27.
well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
The Blue Devils, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Might as well give it to him again. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical. They're trying to stay on the field.
Quick handoff. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
On 3rd and long, trying to convert through the air. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
We know about this running back's versatility, and he's made some plays in this game so far. Catching the ball that time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. They're able to get the hit and make sure it falls incomplete.
Absolutely perfect. And they'll push that lead out a little further. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. Liberty is in front. They've led for most of the way. However, Sparky isn't exactly putting this one in the win column just yet. They're up by 7 over James Madison. We've got our eye on this one and everything else going on throughout the day. Guys?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, it's Bailey. Here comes the heat. Couldn't hang on to that one. This defense has already picked off 3 passes, almost had the 4th. It'll be second down.
This quarterback has thrown a lot of picks. I don't know if he's just not seeing the field right or he's just trying to force too many throws. That should have been number 4 right there, but the defender dropped it.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to give rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
Starting to feel a little pressure. On the run deep down the right side. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
Man, and that's one he probably wants back. And sometimes you underestimate the speed of your guy or how fast he gets out there. You can tell. Just threw that a little bit too far. His receiver didn't have the jets to go catch up with that one.
And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. They've got the lead here. Last time they settled for a field goal, but David got to find that balance between being aggressive and careful.
And I think they'll take that. I got the lead, Palmer. I got the football. I got to take care of the football, put a nice drive together, and just get some kind of points on this drive.
No doubt. Lots to be happy about right now if you're this team. I think for this one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting.
Not quite in rhythm there. Incomplete.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
On 3rd down, he drops the throw. Unloads to the wideout. Got him downfield.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
Might be calling a hot route. Looking to throw on 1st down. Caught near the sticks. It's Moore. Touchdown, Blue Devils! A great catch and run for 6. These guys are really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead.
And I love the wheel route. I love calling it because most of the time I'm going to get my running back who's a fast athlete in space against a linebacker or somebody who can't catch him. Nice play design, nice job throwing it out in front of him. He does the rest, gets in for the touchdown.
Fair catch, called for and made. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Motion from the wideout. looking for a man. It's Bailey. Rushes on him. Skips away from pressure. And this one's not working. He'll just throw it away.
Good decision by the QB. You're outside the pocket. You're trying to find an open target. No one's open. Throw it away and live to play another day.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? They'll throw again after the incompletion. Grabbed in the middle. It's Grimes. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. NC State going up tempo. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35.
Well, no real mystery there, and I think this coaching staff has a lot of confidence in their offensive line to get the push needed to give that back just a big enough crease to fall forward and get the first.
And it's so hard. My room for error is so small when I'm a defensive line. Like, I got to get off the ball as fast as I can and try to get some form of penetration. Just stop that ball from going north-south. They don't do it there, and they give up the first down.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
Going to swing it on second down. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on second down. Now it's third down.
Well, at this juncture in the game, with how the scoreboard looks, no question this offense is going to have to throw to get back in the game, and it's going to be tricky now because the defense is expecting it. You're going to throw into a lot of big zone coverages with everybody's eyes on the quarterback. Not going to be easy.
And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Just nowhere to go against this defense to find that single yard he needed on third down.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride in stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Off the RPO, throwing the right, looking for the first. And he's got enough for a first down. Now to see if they have enough time to snap it again here in the third. Plenty of time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. To the air, it's Bailey. Quickly out to the tight end. Open space at the 25. And they finally run him out of bounds. A huge gain to wrap up the third quarter. This defense will start the fourth on its heels.
31, NC State 14.
So first down will open up the final period. Motion from the back. To the air on first down. Going for it all. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
The defense is in great position right now because they've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They know the offense has to take shots to try to get themselves back in the game. So they're calling their coverages accordingly, and there was nowhere to go with that football. Really nice job by the defense being in position to force the incompletion.
He'll be down at the 4-yard line after that terrific run. NC State quick to the line. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. The snap sets up the throw. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
No harder position to play in a ball game than the offensive line. You know, tonight in this game, you're down by a lot. You know you have to pass the football. Man, it's a tough job to protect up front, and they definitely struggled on that play.
They'll give it another shot on second and goal from the 4. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. And they'll come to the line trying to take a slice out of this lead on third and goal. The toss to the outside. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
They just haven't been able to get much going in the this game, the defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a microcosm of how this game has gone.
A field goal really doesn't do much for you in this situation, so they'll go for it on 4th and goal. Looking downfield, it's Bailey. Using his legs to buy some time. Back's looking for the goal line. He is stopped short, and they'll turn it over on downs. Just a crushing blow at this point in the game. They are pinned deep in their own territory. They'll snap it from their own 4 to start the drive. They'll start this drive going to the air. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And back to the air on 2nd down. This time he's got it. On the move at the 30. Turning on the Jets. Wide open spaces. The tag. Touchdown Duke. And the beatdown has ensued. Boy, do they need that score. Gave them a little cushion as they try to put a stop to this 2-game slide. Now they have extended this lead, guys. Starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He calls for the fair catch and makes it deep in his own end, and he might have been better off seeing if that ball would just trickle into the end zone. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to pass, it's Bailey. Pocket breaking down. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited.
And it's going to be difficult for this offense, man. Just where are they going to find the plays? You can tell the defense sitting back. They're playing nickel. They're playing dime. So you need some receivers to step up, make some yards after the catch, some contested plays. This offense has got to do something, and they got to do it quick.
After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23.
And the defense loves being in this type of situation, right? You've got a big lead. It's in the 4th quarter. You know the opponent's going to be throwing the football, so you get your best pass rushers coming off the edge, using that speed, dipping and ripping, getting to the quarterback for another big play.
Pressure coming. And this defense goes back-to-back sack, Jack.
How great is it if you're a defensive coordinator that you know I can put 6 DBs on the field in my dime package and I can still get home rushing 4. My guys up front are better than your guys, and we're going to go prove it. They did just that.
On 4th down, looking to pass. And it's incomplete. The long pass downfield, they couldn't hook up.
There's not many play calls on the sheet to score a bunch of points really quickly, so you got to go for it here. I like the aggressiveness, but this offense continues to miss the mark, and they just got to score more points. They got to do better, right, Palmer? That's expert analysis. They got to do better.
Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
Brings up 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Quarterback will keep it. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
And with this touchdown, man, you got to get a little bit excited. Getting your first win of the season. First 2 weeks has not gone how you wanted it to go. But today, put a good game together. Offense now, scoring this last touchdown. Defense go out, hold on, don't make big mistakes, and you got your first dub of the season.
He makes the fair catch deep in his own end, and I get the criticism, but man, he probably wanted to at least save a few yards of field position. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Wide receiver going in motion. Looking for a man. It's Bailey. Got it behind the line. It's Grimes. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They're dealing with a second and long.
Here we go.
Wants to go up top. Gets it to him on the screen. They corral him out of bounds. Mark it down at the 38, and this offense might have something going.
Well, they pick up the first down there on the screen. I love the offensive line there, allowing the pass rush to get way up the field. They completely baited their guys, made them think that they got beaten, that they were going to get the sack, and then they sneak the running back screen right in behind them and pick up the first down.
And it's going to be hard for this offense, man. They've struggled to pass the football down the field, to make these explosive plays, and now huge deficit. Got to make them. Got to find a way to push the ball down the field to create some explosive plays if you want a chance to get back in this football game.
Caught in the backfield, it's Scott. It's a seam wide open. Steered out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. A big pickup, and they are threatening.
You know, you just can't coach toughness in quarterbacks. This guy's been sacked multiple times in this one, and on that last play, he gets drilled again, but he delivers a strike. I'll tell you what, this guy's going to be in an ice bath after the game.
Here's a hit. He makes the catch. And a nice grab with a defender right on him, and he's down at the 20. That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. Thomas looking to fire. Dances away. Unloads to the right. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
Oh, they're after him. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
And that play is a microcosm of what this game has been. They have not been able to protect their quarterback all game long, early or late, up front. Moving forward, this offense has got to do a better job or else.
And he feels the heat coming in and burns him up. Another sack.
And man, is that just indictment of the day. Your quarterback getting drilled late in the football game. This offense has sputtered. They haven't found any kind of good rhythm. They haven't done things that really gives your coach confidence and it makes you want to believe in them. This offense has a lot of work to do before their next football game.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Hit as he throws, and the ball goes right to the ground, incomplete.
And I get it. That's for pride's sake. This game's over. Like, I know you're down and you're trying to mount drives, and sometimes you can try to get young guys in the game at this point, but now you're just fighting for pride and you're just letting them try not to get any more points in the score.
Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line.
And the defense down in this game, they just can't do anything to stop this offense at this point, David. Right now, they know they're going to be trying to run the football and try and ice the game, but there's nothing at this point it seems they can do. Yeah,
and it's frustrating. I got to sell out, man. I got to bring as many guys to the line of scrimmage as I can. I got to find a way to get this ball back to my offense. The clock is not my friend, and them running the football is only going to run this thing out quicker. I got to find a way to make something happen, strip the football, do something.
college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff. Rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival. You're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the Wayne team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish now.